Hi. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to explain you an action, thriller movie, called Extraction 2. Sit back, relax and enjoy the video. After something went bad during a job, a soldier for hire named Tyler gets really hurt and bumps his head, making him fall off a bridge into a river. People think he is gone for good, but the water takes him to a place where a young girl finds him and yells for help. Tyler is rushed to the hospital, and his friends Nick and Yaz, who are also soldier for hire, watch over him. Tyler is out cold and very hurt. For many weeks, nurses help Tyler until he opens his eyes. But he's still not okay, so he needs a lot of exercise and help to get his strength back. Meanwhile, in a place called Georgia, a bad guy named Zurab finds out from his buddy of Tandil that his brother David has to stay in jail for 10 more years. Zurab talks to the governor, who was in charge of making this decision, and the governor says that Americans are watching closely and there's not much he can do. The governor says he'll move David to a jail in America, but Zurab is mad about this. He tells the governor that he helped him get his job and then takes him out. They bury the governor in a hole they dug earlier. Back to Tyler, his friends come to take him to Austria. They have a hidden cabin in the woods ready for him. Before he leaves, Nick gives him a box with some precious keepsakes inside. Tyler now lives a simple life, watching TV, fishing, and buying food. One night, he opens the box his friend gave him and cries when he sees old letters and videos from his son, who passed away. Meanwhile, Zurab's brother David is in jail and can't enjoy watching a fight because he's worried about staying in jail longer. Later, he meets his wife Ketavan and their kids, Sandro and Nina. They have to live in jail with him. Ketavan is scared because she doesn't want the kids growing up in jail, but David says Sandro needs to be tough. She doesn't want the kids to become bad people, but David gets mad and hits her, saying he'll raise them alone. Ketavan cries and Sandro tries to make her feel better. One day, Tyler gets back to his cabin and meets a man named Alcott. Alcott knows where Tyler is hiding and who he is. Tyler tries to scare him by shooting a cup, but Alcott doesn't care. Alcott says they have the same bosses and tells Tyler he has a new job. Ketavan is the sister of Tyler's ex-wife Mia, and they need to save her and the kids from jail. David and Zurab are part of a really bad group called Nagazi. They don't play nice because they grew up when there was a big fight in their country, so they became bad guys when they were young. Their group is like a family and they protect each other. Tyler says yes to the job and calls his friends Nick and Yaz to help him out. After that, Tyler starts working out a lot to get strong again. He does normal exercises but also moves big rocks and throws sharp tools to chop wood. When Tyler is all set, he and his friends go to the jail in Georgia. They have paid a guard there to help them. The guard drew small pictures on the walls to show the way and turned off the cameras. Tyler's friends wait outside while he goes in. The guard tells Tyler that door 207 is open and turns off the lights, so Tyler has 5 minutes to get the family out. Tyler is very careful and uses a flashlight to find the small pictures on the walls. He finds the family's room, and Ketavan is ready for him. She wakes up her kids, and when Sandro asks about his dad, she says he will come later. As they are leaving, Nina drops a toy that makes a silly sound. Tyler steps on it to break it, but it's too late. David wakes up and sees his family leaving. He whistles, and all the prisoners that are friends with him start making a mess. Tyler and the family run and use the stairs. Tyler has to break a door lock to get to an old hallway, but they end up in a room with a bunch of other prisoners, and a big fight starts. Tyler fights back and has to shoot one guy to make them leave him alone. Then he uses a small boomstick to blow open a door. This gets them out just before the prisoners come at them again. They keep running and see fights everywhere. Tyler finds a hallway under the ground and a hole in the ceiling. They send the kids up through the hole to meet Nick outside. But before Tyler and Ketavan can climb up, David shows up and fights them. Ketavan is knocked down fast, but Tyler and David have a really rough fight. Tyler pushes David's face on something hot, breaks his hand, and then ends the fight by sticking him with a sharp thing. Then, a lot of prisoners come down the hallway, so Tyler tells Nick to take the kids and he'll find another way out. Nick and Yaz drive the kids away in big cars while the police come and start fighting with the prisoners outside. Tyler and Ketavan end up outside too, and they have to fight to get through. At first, Tyler keeps people back with his gun, but then he runs out of bullets and has to fight with his fists. Ketavan tries to help by swinging the flat digging tool, but she gets knocked down and everybody tries to grab her. Tyler has to fight many guys at once to save Ketavan. When there are too many, he lays on top of her to shield her and throws a boomstick. He gets hit on the head and is dazed for a bit, which lets a prisoner grab Ketavan. Tyler wakes up, fights some police, grabs their shields, and uses them to block fire. He fights off more guys and saves Ketavan by stopping the bad guy. Suddenly, a door blows up and it's Nick and her team saving them. Yes says the bad group Nagazi knows where they are and is coming. They hop in strong cars and bust through the front gate, driving fast. Tyler tells the kids to put on special safe vests and hide under the seats. But then, Nagazi soldiers come after them in cars and bikes, shooting and throwing boomsticks. Tyler drives into the woods but an explosion makes his car flip over. His friends shoot to protect them while they get out of the car. They run into a building and then jump onto a train that will take them away from Georgia, but Nagazi soldiers are still chasing them in flying helicopters. Tyler finds big guns on the train and fights back. He shoots down one helicopter, and then goes on top of the train to shoot at the other one, but they shoot back and Tyler has to hide. Some Nagazi soldiers jump onto the train. Nick fights 3 of them super hard with guns and her fists, and wins, but she gets hurt. More Nagazi guys go after the family, and Tyler fights them too. One bad guy almost pushes Tyler off the train, but Tyler is tough and fights back. He shoots all the bad guys one by one while Sandro, the little boy, watches and can't believe what's happening. When all the bad guys are gone, Tyler checks on Nick. Suddenly, the helicopter shoots at them again. Tyler grabs a big gun from one of the dead bad guys and goes back to the roof to shoot the helicopter down. But then, Nick finds out the train's brakes are broken because of the bad guys. The train goes super fast and flies off the tracks, crashing. At the same time, Zurab and of Tandil find out David is dead. The soldiers tell Zurab what happened, and he knows this wasn't done by another bad gang, but someone else. Later, Zurab is looking at David's dead body. Meanwhile, Tyler's group, having survived the crash, hastily makes their escape. The group eventually escapes via a boat and then a plane. During this time, Yaz makes arrangements for forged documents through his contacts. He leaves his phone unattended, which Sandro seizes as an opportunity to contact Zurab. In the bathroom, Sandro makes the call to Zurab, seeking the truth. Zurab manipulates him, painting Ketavan as the antagonist, and in his confusion, Sandro divulges their destination. Upon reaching Austria, the group takes refuge in a hotel. While Ketavan and the other women attend to Nina, and Yaz is busy organizing their escape, Sandro confronts Tyler. He tries to justify David's actions as protective measures, but Tyler counters by mentioning David's sinister plan to murder Ketavan. Sandro retaliates by bringing up Tyler's shortcomings as a father. In parallel, Zurab mobilizes a unit of Nagazi soldiers, invoking the essence of familial bonds to rally them for revenge. Back in Austria, Tyler takes a moment to speak with Sandro on the balcony. He admits his failings as a father but brings to light Ketavan's relentless fight for her children. He urges Sandro to either recognize and appreciate her courage or be swallowed by David's deceptions. A helicopter buzzes overhead and Nagazi soldiers swarm in, arriving in cars. Tyler springs into action, urging everyone to evacuate. Amidst the chaos, Ketavan finds out that Sandro has been messaging Zurab to arrange a meeting. Sandro declares that the Nagazi are his kin, but their exchange is interrupted when the helicopter starts shooting, shattering all the windows. Tyler shields the others from the gunfire, and they seize an opportune moment to rush to the elevator. Meanwhile, Nagazi soldiers rappel down from the helicopter onto the rooftop. Police sirens wail as squad cars approach, but they are met with a hail of bullets from the Nagazi, preventing any interference. In the garage, Tyler's group piles into a van. In the commotion, Sandro slips away, and Yaz gives chase. The van, with Tyler and the rest, encounters Nagazi soldiers blocking their path, who open fire, forcing them to retreat. On the street, Sandro is confronted by Zurab, who begins to shoot at Yaz, forcing him to take cover. Sandro is torn as both men implore him to choose sides. The tension escalates when Nick arrives in another vehicle, only for it to be hit by a rocket launcher fired by the Nagazi. Utilizing the ensuing explosion as a diversion, Zurab seizes Sandro and pulls him into his car. Yaz manages to extract Nick from the damaged vehicle, and they exchange fire with the Nagazi before using a grenade to make their escape back into the building. In the garage, Ketavan and Nina remain concealed in the van as Tyler engages the Nagazi soldiers in combat. He takes down several soldiers with gunfire and engages in close quarters combat with the final one, using a grenade to finish him off. Nick and Yaz manage to fend off more soldiers before heading to the rooftop via the elevator. Tyler, with Ketavan and Nina, tries to make a getaway in a van, but they don't get far before being besieged by the Nagazi's assault. With no other option, Tyler brings the vehicle to a halt and leaps into the fray, firing at the Nagazi soldiers. A police helicopter appears on the scene, but the Nagazi quickly bring it down with a rocket launcher. Tyler eliminates several more adversaries, creating an opportunity for him to lead the family to safety on foot. They manage to make it back to the hotel and enter the elevator just as Zurab launches an assault on them. On the hotel roof, Nick and Yaz are attempting to reach a helicopter dispatched by their allies, but it's encircled by Nagazi soldiers. Gunfire erupts once more, and Nick urges Yaz to assist Tyler while she lays down covering fire. Yaz heads to a lower floor where Tyler is locked in combat with more Nagazi soldiers. However, he is waylaid by enemy forces, and after a fierce struggle in which he takes out several opponents, Nick is wounded as well and falls, grappling with a Nagazi soldier, onto a glass canopy. The soldier slips away, leaving Nick teetering on the brink of falling. Tyler spots her predicament, and after dispatching the last soldier, he lunges through the window and catches her just in time. They both hang precariously off the edge. Zurab arrives and fires at Tyler's hand, but his grip remains firm. Suddenly, Nick regains consciousness and fires her weapon, shattering the glass, which leaves Zurab dangling from the edge too. Tyler hurls Nick through an open window into a room, where she engages and eliminates the remaining Nagazi soldiers threatening the family. The family then reunites with Yaz and starts making their way to the roof. Meanwhile, Tyler and Zurab manage to clamber up and engage in an intense hand-to-hand combat. The stakes are high as the two adversaries clash with raw power and determination. The intense fight between Tyler and Zurab continues with a rain of bullets and punches. As Tyler brandishes his knife to finish the fight, the glass beneath them shatters and Zurab plunges into the room below. Just then, Zurab re-emerges and fires at Yaz, who is hit. Tyler fires back as they board the helicopter, which takes off. On board, Tyler attempts to treat Yaz's wounds, but sadly, Yaz succumbs to his injuries. Sometime later, Tyler and the others are holed up in his cabin. Unexpectedly, Mia, Tyler's ex-wife, shows up. The sisters have a tearful reunion. Mia then talks with Tyler, who expresses his remorse for leaving her when their son was ill. He explains he felt powerless, unable to bear watching his son suffering. Hours later, Tyler receives a call from Zurab, who proposes a meeting at an airfield near St. George's Church for negotiations. Despite Nick's objections, Tyler gears up heavily and heads for the airfield. There, he stealthily takes out a few guards and detonates Zurab's plane. As Zurab and Sandro flee, Tyler advances with a barrage of firepower, causing vehicles to explode while engaging in combat with Zurab's men. Tyler sustains a severe wound to his abdomen but continues to pursue Zurab to the church where he has taken refuge with Sandro. Inside the church, Tyler discovers that Zurab has rigged Sandro with explosives and holds the detonator, preventing Tyler from opening fire. Zurab forces Sandro to take Tyler's gun and commands him to kill Tyler in revenge for his father. Torn by guilt and fear, Sandro is paralyzed. As Zurab is about to finish Tyler himself, Nick bursts in through a back door to assist. However, Zurab uses Sandro as a human shield, and Nick is forced to lower her weapon. In a critical moment, Tyler makes a subtle signal to Sandro, who, seizing the opportunity, wrests the remote control from Zurab and liberates himself. Tyler lunges at Zurab, and an intense brawl ensues, with both men using anything they can find within the church as weapons. Sandro removes the explosives from himself and hands the control to Nick, apologizing to her as she manages to deactivate the bombs. The fierce struggle between Tyler and Zurab rages on, with both men inflicting heavy damage on each other and their surroundings. Ultimately, Tyler seizes a large nail and repeatedly stabs Zurab with it. Despite his grievous injuries, Zurab continues to rant about revenge until Tyler picks up a gun and shoots him in the head. Immediately after, Tyler rushes over to check on the wounded Nick, but their respite is cut short as the Austrian police swarm in and apprehend everyone. Days later, both Nick and Tyler find themselves in prison, with Nick receiving medical attention for her injuries. In a subsequent turn of events, Tyler is led to a car under the guise of being transferred. However, to his surprise, he finds Alcott waiting for him inside. Alcott offers Tyler a deal, his freedom in exchange for accepting another mission. Tyler hesitates but agrees when Alcott promises that Nick will also be freed. With a newfound sense of purpose, Tyler prepares to embark on another dangerous mission. Make sure to subscribe our channel for more videos like this. Thank you and have a nice day.